Hello everyone, my name is Venkat Kurela. I'm a cloud neutral trainer and consultant specialized in delivering corporate trainings. I have delivered hundreds of trainings globally to different levels of students as a freelancer and as an official trainer. Also helping organizations in designing, implementing and moving workloads onto different cloud platforms like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud Platform. Today, I'm going to talk about AWS migration project. First ever to demonstrate such a real-time project on migrations that helps you increase the job opportunities in the cloud. This is going to be a step-by-step hands-on AWS migration project that involves migrating applications, servers, databases, and the raw data. Data could be MDF files, LDF files, the backup files, software distributions, could be anything. And who should actually join this course? Who should join this workshop? Well, anybody, right? Anybody who is actively looking for the jobs, because I've seen many people saying, sir, we've already AWS certified solution architect. I've got my certification, or I've got trained on. I'm a SysOps admin. I've got my certification. DevOps engineer. I'm a certified developer. So seen many people, listen to them saying, sir, we have completed our trainings and certification. However, we are not able to get through the interview process. Well, for you, this is a right opportunity to take part of this workshop. This workshop helps you to outstand the crowd and you be experts of the cloud migrations, especially the AWS migrations. You can add this special skill set to your profile so that you can easily grab the opportunity. And who can join this workshop? Like I mentioned, anybody got trained, certified into other AWS training program and certification program and actively looking for a job, well, you're all welcome to be part of this workshop, because this is not just to talk about EC2 or EBS or S3 or VPC or set of services in AWS, but this is gonna talk about the whole process that is involved. It could be from the processes as a company, what applications to be moved, or as a company to build the strategy on why should you move your applications to the cloud, different stages that are involved, different cloud adaptation frameworks that are involved, different application migration strategies that we have got. So this is to talk about more of a cloud adaptation and cloud migration processes. Then we talk about the theory that is involved, meaning the services. For example, you have got SMS, the server migration service. How are you going to use it? A theoretical knowledge about that service. And if you have a database migration service, a theoretical knowledge on that. And if you have got maybe a application discovery service, a theoretical. So a theory involves the rules of a game and maybe rules of the services that we're gonna play with. And of course, we surely gonna dirty our hands, which is the critical part of this workshop. From the beginning, where you set up your on-premises servers to until you move them into the cloud, you make them operational, and you are satisfied with the operational excellency and the other benefits of the cloud will be the complete project, right? That's the big project that every one of you should add it to this skill. To talk about the migration scenario, I have a customer, a company called Kurela Private Limited is planning to migrate their on-premises application stack to the AWS cloud. You are to plan, implement and operate the workloads in AWS cloud. So the Kurela Private Limited customer is already having on-premises VMware implementations, and they also have an AWS account already created. We are to migrate applications now, the servers, databases and the raw data like I mentioned, which is a 360-degree of the complete migrations. What else do you expect, guys? This is 360. It involves everything that you need to move. We are not just moving the applications, we are not just moving the servers, not the databases, but the data. It's everything. A project or a workshop that involved the hands-on lags of the migration of all the tools, all the services, all the components of your data center in this project involved. This is where we're going to talk about the process that is involved. So before you put your hands to work to migrate your applications, let's understand what kind of processes that we're going to go through. That is the business drivers. That means what benefits or parameters of the cloud computing is driving your business to move the application to the cloud. Then we'll talk about the cloud stages of the application, like the cloud migrations can held in what stages, and the migration process that is involved. Right? How you gonna plan the migration process for the applications? How you gonna plan the same for the databases? It's more of a planning process, migration process. Then the tools. There are some AWS tools involved. There are some third-party tools involved. So we're gonna talk about what tools are we going to pick in this training program, and of course the customers who are actively moving the applications. Well, believe me, a couple of weeks back, TCS was hiring crazy of the cloud migration experts, and now Capgemini is hiring them, IBM is hiring them, and in future, in the coming weeks, no surprise, Infosys is also going to hire them, and to name everybody. Everybody is going to move their applications to the cloud, a fact that is known to everybody. Right? If the customers are moving their applications to the cloud, for sure a skill that is needed definitely is the migration skill. So finally, the resources. What resources you can look at in order to initiate the migrations? So the business drivers, like I mentioned, or the 5 of them you see on the screen. But again, guys, when it comes to the migrations, there are no hard and fast rules, right? As a company, Kurela Cognitive Private Limited, if they are opting to, if they see these 5 good reasons to move the applications to the cloud, well, you may see maybe a 6th reason, 7th reason, 8th reason, 10 reasons also. It depends on your business model, applications, and the current data center infrastructure that you've got. But yes, we're going to talk about, in general, points that meets majority of the customers. We'll talk about, of course, the cloud strategies. We'll talk about, of course, cloud stages of the adaptation. That is like the 4 stages that are again involved. But again, it may depends based on the scenario that you are in. But I'm talking about a generic situation that meets everybody. Then the process, the migration process, like the planning, how you actually do. Then we're going to talk about the tools that are involved. Application migration strategies. Like there is actually a 6-step process, 6 different strategies. For example, let's say if Kurela Cognitive Private Limited has got some 100 applications, 10 of them may fit into the rehost, maybe 5 of them may fit into the replatform, 25 may be kind of repurchased into a PaaS model, maybe another 20 could be into the refactor or re-architect, and maybe balance can be retired or retained. That means not necessary if rehost is the best fit for one of the application of that customer, the same migration strategy may not be the correct for the remaining applications. It is a continuous process that you have to check every time, right? Then to talk about the tools and services that we're gonna use in our migration program is, at different stages we're gonna use different tools. At the discovery and to track the migration progress, we're gonna use the Migration Hub, Application Discovery Service, of course TSO Logic, which is again a third-party software. And to migrate your servers and databases, we have got Server Migration Service, a Database Migration Service, VMware Cloud on AWS, Cloud Endura Migrations, and there are many other, in fact, right? So AWS owned services and third-party services. And of course, we will also look at how you're gonna move the applications, right? Whether you're gonna do the lift and shift, or the 6 strategies, the same applicable for applications here as well. Then we're gonna talk about the data migration, the raw data. Nowadays, this is again at a high stake, that you may have the MDF files, LDF files, maybe backup files, the virtual tapes that you made have, the media files, the images, audio, videos, maybe software distributions. So how are you gonna move them? There are many options in AWS to start with. But then, given a situation, which one would you consider and how you go about it is something that matters. Then, of course, like I said, the resources that you can use during your migrations to plan, to execute, well, it depends, right? Finally, we are planning to do it in the workshop 10 to 6 p.m., 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. as per Indian uh, time zone, IST, and then it'll be on Saturdays and Sundays. So every alternative weekend we have AWS migrations, and every alternative weekend we have the Azure migrations happening. How you enroll to this course? Well, shoot us an email on info@kurela.org or WhatsApp us or messages or call us on the numbers given on the screen. We are very happy to assist you. And once again, never miss an opportunity to get that real-time hands-on experience, because in 2019 majority of the projects are gonna be on the migrations. That's the reason that we have to target this area. This is one among the many exciting projects to come. Follow us on the professional network LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and keep check with our executives on the email ID and the mobile numbers given on the screen. Thank you and see you again.